Alright, it's time for a ranked preseason Teemo game, and I'm sure you're happy that it's no longer a stream cut video. Yes, I'm back to having the pre-recorded stuff and then slapping a commentary over them. Hopefully, I can maintain this for a while because one of the recording programs actually works, albeit it really hurts my computer to do so. It crashes every other program that I have turned on when I try to use it. So I have to make sure I close everything, record the thing, then bring back everything up. It's kind of scary, and I ran a lot of things to make sure it didn't break anything permanently. So here's just hoping it doesn't do anything bad, and it's a sacrifice I'm sort of willing to make right now because honestly I'm desperate. By the way, this right here is not a sacrifice Master Yi should have been willing to make. You saw he kind of flashed and screwed up his auto tech and then died to the tower. Even if he had killed me, he was still going to die. So he was going to lose a lot of farm, and I got to stick around here and just pew a few things. I know he missed a few shots, but still, I'm better off than him. And here comes Lee Sin, and he doesn't accomplish much either. So hooray for Teemo. Yes, I want to be playing the jungle, but honestly, they keep either I keep being last pick. This Teemo game, I was about to be, I believe, Dr. Mundo. I mean, I did upload Dr. Mundo, but that was in the other game. I was going to play Dr. Mundo. I was actually going to get to jungle, and somebody Q dodged, and now I was last pick, and I picked Teemo. I picked Teemo against the Master Yi. Well, actually, no, I didn't pick against the Master Yi. See, yeah, I was one of the earlier picks, but I thought Master Yi was going to be the jungle, so I didn't have to really. I was thinking, oh, I'll be fine, and then they picked Lee Sin, and then I was a little scared, and then it turns out it's top lane Master Yi. So once again, I wasn't that scared. Of course, you know how I play Teemo. I build them with a lot of offensive in the masteries, and then with the AP runes and stuff, and sometimes AD runes. But I usually start off with Doran's Blade to help me with last hits and to help my auto attacks just be better. And you know how I use my mushrooms as well. I use them defensively, just to kind of keep my retreat safe. If Lee Sin, like right here, were to come to gank, I would have a mushroom in between me and him that I could use if he were to pop it, just to give myself a better edge. And I use my mushrooms like defensively in teamfights as well. Here, the mushroom popped and Master Yi felt he couldn't go any further, so yeah, of course he didn't press the issue, even though of course he wouldn't have because I'm Teemo and I fuck him up. So though you'll see, I'll constantly be putting my mushrooms in a line or in little box positions just so I can kite around them in circles if I was to be ganked. I put them forward, always behind where my minions would be. So if Master Yi release in try to come at me through my minions, they have to go through my minions, get a little bit of damage there, then hit my mushroom and still be in my minions and being thrashed and having skill shots blocked and all that other sorts of crap. Unfortunately, that one mushroom got popped right there, but I don't think Master Yi knows that I have another one in the area. So by that one getting popped, the Master Yi might be a little bit more conscious about attacking me. Or I mean, not be conscious, he'd be a little reckless. So and like just right here, one of these pops, and he thinks he's completely safe. So I just lead him through the mushrooms I had placed, and he takes too much damage, and he realizes he should just give up. Unfortunately for me, I can't do that last sliver of damage, and he survives too. Sucks for me, but still, though, that's what I mean by putting mushrooms in position to defend yourself. I've seen some... look, Lee Sin too, he's like, I could jump with the Teemo, but I don't know where this guy has placed his mushrooms, because he's pretty much put them haphazardly. By the way, I've seen Teemos just pretty much barricade all entrances and put them in a straight line or put them all in the bushes. That's kind of silly in my eyes. If you put nothing but mushrooms in the bushes, the enemy will... Well, I'm pretty sure the enemy is used to just having Teemos put shrooms in the bushes, so they won't try to use them to defend themselves. I mean, use the bushes at all to do any line of sight crap or just hide in general. So they'll avoid them altogether because they're used to Teemos just putting them in there. No, like look here. The Lee Sin is coming to try to hit me. He gets a mushroom. The minions get another mushroom. Another mushroom explodes, and they're pretty much kind of like unwilling to go any further because they don't know except where the mushrooms are. And that's just how, like, I make them work out. And that's kind of my best advice. Because imagine this. If the enemy doesn't know... Like, if you've confused the enemy with your mushroom placements, every placement you could have put... Or, I mean, every place you could put a mushroom in, they will know... they will no longer call it be able to predict it. Like now, the Master Yi has seen that I just kind of put them all over the place, anywhere I could walk to, or he could walk to, even by accident. So now he's actually a little bit more willing to use the bushes. So you'll notice that very soon enough here that he's gonna actually start going into the bushes to protect himself and whatever. So that means I could start putting mushrooms in those bushes now, and then just kind of piss him off even further. Nonetheless, just keep in mind I always try to do this. I always keep one mushroom ahead, even though it just got popped, and that was unfortunate. I didn't want it to be popped. And about 2 or 3 mushrooms behind me. Mostly so I can just guide Lee Sin or somebody if they were going to try to gank me. Here, though, I'm kind of using them offensively and to deter the lane. I also try to do this. I go home and I buy 2 of my items, but look at the lane, how there are. The minions arrive to my tower and they die along the way thanks to the explosions. Therefore, Master Yi didn't get a chance to attack my tower. I lost no minions to the tower, and I kept all the experience and gold. Hooray for me! I also do that. I mean, some people would find this wasteful to amass so many mushrooms, but Also here, I love this part. Master Yi teleports in, and Lee Sin comes in trying to try to gank me. I wait in front of him just so I can flash over and just either dodge his Q or his kick. And it turns out I got kicked into safety, so hooray for me. And of course you see this, and I know it gives away my mushrooms, but it also works as a deterrence. I use my body to block the minions, and, well actually here, watch this. I die though, it's just he knew where my mushrooms are, he knew to stay away from them. He still hit the last one, and he still hit this one anyways, and he just goes home. But yeah, as I was saying, I use my body to block the mushrooms as any experienced Teemo player would do. Block the enemy minions from destroying your shrooms. Though the weakness of that is that it gives away your mushroom placement, right? Of course. It also, them knowing there's a mushroom there and not having any way to remove it, or not having any way to remove it, will make them not want to go anywhere near it. So even though the Master Yi kind of killed me and popped him anyways, if he wasn't going for the kill or he had no chance for a 100% kill, he wouldn't have bothered. So here I put a mushroom here though, but I put that mushroom there for a reason. I know they could see me. I knew they had it warded. I put it there so I could see if Master Yi would waste his red thing on it. So now I plucked it on that ward so I can see him, and now he can't kill that ward. Now I can see if anyone's going to attack me from behind, or I mean from the side. So that mushroom there, the first mushroom there was a trap to lure out the red trinket, because I saw that Master Yi had bought a red trinket and was using it to clear the wards in the lane. So now, see, strategic thinking that could only be brought to you by Satan. Nonetheless, you'll see this happen throughout the game sometimes. I will actually pluck down some mushrooms near the towers. Like I just did that right now. Sometimes behind the tower too. It's what I consider anti-dive tactics. I put them in places where the enemy team will go to, so they cannot retreat safely, or they'll just get punished for going in. Like there, I put that in that bush, though mostly it was just to prevent them to come attack us. And Lee Sin tried to back away and only got blasted. Here, I try to kill Diana as much as I can, but unfortunately, I can't. She doesn't die by poisons. Ezreal picks it up. Vayne gets blinded here, and even though she still seems to do damage with her silver bolts, her auto attacks do nothing, and she gets killed. So hooray for Teemo, I get a few kills by myself, and I hopefully try to reset the fight for my teammates. Unfortunately, as you can see, the Ezreal can't hit anything, and the Blanc just kind of does some really, really confusing things, and dies for the Sona. And then the Ezreal, I actually told them, hit the mushroom, like go back to it, because I think the damage from that mushroom, along with the Ezreal's own auto attacks, would have probably been able to kill Master Yi. Probably Ezreal would have died still, but he would have had a better chance of killing the Master Yi. Just, the lack of attentiveness here. So either way, like I said, I make sure I put the mushrooms as an anti-dive mechanics. I make sure to cut off choke points like the usual Teemo things would do. But I like putting mushrooms, like I said earlier, in front of the enemy, so they would know not to cross this part. But of course, the Sona crosses anyways, but still. I like to put them in places where the enemy can see them sometimes, so they'll be forced to waste their red trinkets or whatever, and protect the ones that are in more crucial spots. Like, okay, here comes Lee Sin jumps in, LeBlanc avoids the kickback, and he decides to kick Thresh anyways. So we destroy Lee Sin and we go after the Vayne. And I put a mushroom in here just to deter Sona. She doesn't want to cross because there's a mushroom there. Though, of course, she probably didn't want to cross either because she'd just be destroyed by 4 people. So there you go. I love it. But anyways, rewinding it back. If I put a mushroom in front of them, they will destroy the one that is most close to them and the one they know is there. So they waste their red trinket. However, if they were to dive at us, I had about 3 mushrooms behind us. So they couldn't use a red trinket or anything during that fight and disable my shrooms. So there you go. Like they will, I'm just trying to make them waste their resources for in exchange for my shrooms. Because honestly, in a lot of team fights, they're pretty goddamn worthless. Like that mushroom doesn't get popped at all right now. I have to actually plop a mushroom below me in order to hurt my opponents. And I have to stand next to it because they're not going to pop the other mushroom anytime soon. So I get murdered and the enemy team starts, rolling in. And just watch that other mushroom. Pretty much never gets popped. The Ezreal almost gets chunked down by the Vayne and then blinks out and it gets killed by the Sona. Then Nocturne chases after the Vayne and manages to kill her too. The Master Yi runs around kind of like a headless chicken, but instead just kind of somebody else teleports to the enemy side. It's Diana. She comes in. Thresh is just kind of the lonely peon here, and he's about to get destroyed. So, the fight, unfortunately, goes over to the enemy team side, because also they gain dragon control, and obviously they're going to secure it. We run in there too late. We can't even catch the rest of the Master Yi, but we catch his Asian blind counterpart, Lee Sin, and we bring him down. So, there's some compensation, but obviously it's not enough. The enemy team has too many dragons, and we're desperately behind. Look at the score difference. I mean, we got a few towers, but only 2. So, as you can see, once again, I go back to just putting mushrooms everywhere, and I kind of invite the enemy team just to come at us. They'll pop some, or they'll burn some red trinkets trying to get them, or they'll forcibly pop them themselves. But it gets them really hurt, and the Sona dies as a result of it for getting too wounded. Master Yi comes in, and I blind him, but it's not enough to not just get destroyed by him. And unfortunately for us, he dies. And unfortunately for us, the middle... well, actually, no, the Vayne kind of dies, and it just gets murdered. Hooray for us. That is a hurry for us. And Diana hits a few mushrooms. The Nocturne tries to go back in, but it comes to no avail. Or it results in absolutely nothing actually happening. So... as you can see, I have my build is the Burns When You Pee build, the Leandry's Torment, Rabadon's Death Cap, and I'm just going for, the whole cutting floor. I mean, whenever they step on it, they'll die. It's like stepping on Legos right now. So, the enemy team, they can't really get a foothold here because a lot of my teammates are kind of immune to their only initiation, which is Least Instinct. But I'm hoping my teammates will protect my mushrooms like they unfortunately are. As you can see around there, I actually have 3 mushrooms defending that side. If the Sona really wants to put a trinket ward down there or something, or somebody wants to attack us from behind, they're going to have to go through mushroom hell. LeBlanc initiates confusingly and achieves nothing there. The Master Yi is going to try to loop around us, but he can't accomplish much right there. Though, Thresh gets caught, and he gets killed, and then I go after the Sona, and then after that, nothing really happens. Kind of sucks. But of course, once again, my mushrooms keep the lane pushed out, and the lane hurt, and Nocturne's ultimate could have finished her off, but he lost sight of her. That's quite unfortunate. So, again, I'm waiting here for mushrooms just to plop them defensively. We were forced to run away or something like that. Ezreal just gets his bum blasted by Diana. LeBlanc leads the Lee Sin to us, and while she may die, we kill Lee Sin quite easily. And then he wastes Flash for whatever reason. We go after Sona, but we don't have the sticking power to catch her, so she gets off scot-free, essentially. So, once again, my team does not come out ahead of this. 1 for 2. Nonetheless, as far as those lane goes and the new items go for the game, for at least the preseason, I quite like it. Though I'm not too sure about the new void spawning item, ZZ Rod Vayne or whatever it's ZZ Gate. Let's just call it ZZ Top. ZZ Top Gate. I don't think it's actually a good idea to bring into the game. Why bring in an item that split pushes for your team? If you use it in lane, then it's has someone occupying it. You're just going to give someone free gold. Anyways, actually, watch this. Vayne gets blinded, so some of her damage is gone, and she pretty much gets destroyed. Lee Sin is going to want to try to execute my partner up there, but I put a mushroom down so he'd hit it as he come down. Her hourglass saved her life, but that mushroom made sure Lee Sin died. So we get 3 kills over there and in exchange for Doctrine, and honestly, that's a really worthwhile trade-off. It might help us come back, or it might not. We're kind of fucked anyway. My teammates go for Dragon, and unfortunately, Master Yi has a teleport and kills them. Because, you know, it's a good idea to do the Dragon without a jungler around, because it's not like the enemy team has 2 teleports. So, yeah, my teammates die. We're not doing so well. I'm building Lich Beam, which is a first for Teemo. By the way, I just drew a penis with shrooms because I had nothing better to do. Watching my teammates get destroyed, you know, watching us get fucked over in the ass right now is the only, and then drawing a penis is kind of the only way to represent our misery. So in comes Master Yi. He doesn't die quick enough. He kind of just eviscerates the LeBlanc. Again, she takes somebody with a gap closer to the other side of the wall so they can die in silence together. Then the Master Yi has activated Yi mode, so of course he's cutting everybody down. Thankfully, Ezra here doesn't fuck up all his shots and manages to kill the Sona, and eventually the Lee Sin, though, with a blink towards him and an auto attack. It felt so close that the Lee Sin was going to kill him there, and the world would turn to shit even further. So, thankfully, at least we have some power and some damage, but alas, we really, really are in a bad spot. The enemy team has a lot of dragons, and they have Baron control. At least, you know, in the terms that if we were to show up and try to do it, we'd just get murdered, and if we try to stop them, we'd probably still just be murdered. Look at that. Look at that. Hell, even Sona got some damage there. So, Thresh gets himself caught, and I just put a mushroom down to barricade this. The Nocturne goes in, and honestly, I think this is one of the dumbest things he could have done. But fortunately, the enemy team doesn't respond appropriately. I actually blind the Master Yi here, and he also gets exhausted, so his damage goes to hell, and he can't do anything, and he pretty much gets destroyed. So there we go. We have a 2-kill lead, and of course, Thresh dies right here. Yeah, he dies. Yeah, wait, he doesn't die. Oh no, then he dies with a Sona. And then the Ezreal dies with a Sona. And then we get away. So we kind of came out on top of this because we killed some bounty gold wielders. Then we come out behind it because 2 of us die, and I get my ass kicked by Lee Sin, but I killed him too. You know, you can't escape the wrath of Satan. So, I think it became out even. Then after the minions take out one of our Nexus towers, it's definitely not even. We're really, really reeling from this. So I decide I'm going to have to use some of my mushrooms as, well, not yet, I think. I'm actually going to put some mushrooms down in top tower, because Master Yi, if you can look at him in the mini-map, he's just split pushing and destroying towers. And here, it's just kind of the saddest thing here. Ezreal is with me, and I'm like, we could take out these 2 guys. So I plopped down a mushroom just in case to use defensively. And then we see Lee Sin and Sona come down. So Ezreal, I'm like, come on, Ezreal, help me out. And he just kind of leaves. And then I die. But of course, you know, Ezreal had to do that. Ezreal has something more important to do. Like to, you know, die in top lane. Look at him. He's dead. So, you know, instead of dying with me and River, with your best friend Teemo, go top lane and die alone. So, as you can see, this game is not a victory. And honestly, it was the first replay that actually worked, so I figured I might as well use one of these because people prefer the post-game commentary rather than the stream cuts. So here's hoping I get the jungle, and then the replay survives, and the replay doesn't destroy my computer. And until then, just enjoy this video of Teemo with sporadic commentary. Either way, I'm glad to be back.